Hi, greetings from Florida. I just wanted to make sure that you could see the palm trees first. Yes, palm trees. Where'd they go? Oh yeah. Okay, so I want to make sure you see those first before we started our little class. So today I thought that I would do just a little sequence that if you're traveling this summer, or whether it's back and forth to the cottage or you're doing some longer trips, and you just want to do something that will feel really good after you travel, especially on those hips, this is what I like to do after I'm on like a long flight or a long drive or something like that. So, and I'll probably do it more as a flow, maybe only take a couple breaths in each pose, just to get it in for you, but I would totally say stay a little longer in each pose than what I'll probably do in the video. So I'm not going to do like a full like 30-minute class or anything, but it could essentially, be lengthened out for yourself if you stay in each pose a little longer than I'll do. Okay, so I'm going to sit you down. Coming at you from my sister's deck here, or lanai I guess we call it down here, and tying up my fancy pants. And this is the yoga mat I got my sister a long time ago. I don't know if she uses it. Here we go. All right. Just do a little bit of heart opening. Go ahead and fold forward if this feels good for your hips. Reach the arms up overhead. And then come back up again. And release the arms and switch legs. So you're not folding forward at the same side. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, take the arms down. Inhale, lifting up the heart. And exhale, folding forward. And inhale, coming back up again. And exhale, release the arms. Inhale, reach both arms up. And exhale, rotate towards your right. Stay for a breath, inhale. Exhale and rotate. Inhale, come back to the center. And exhale, take the hands down. Switching the legs. And let's inhale, reach the arms up. And we'll twist to the left. Exhale, twist to the left. And breathing in, stay here for a breath. And exhale. And come back to the center, reaching both arms up. And exhale, take the arms down. And let's come on to the hands and knees. And I do a lot of this stuff just from the hands and knees, right? So with your next exhale, go ahead and step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Turn the toes slightly out to the side and just allow the knee to open out, rolling onto the outer edge of the foot. Just make sure you keep the foot really active here. We're not just sickling the leg out. Keep it nice and active. Soften between the shoulder blades. So you're settling down into the hips, but you're not pushing the pelvis to the floor. So try to keep that little lift up through the top of your back leg so that left thigh bone is lifted up slightly and the tailbone is scooped underneath you. And just take one more inhale. And as you exhale, let's sit back into a child's pose. And then inhale, come onto your hands and your knees. And we'll take the left leg forward. Turn the toes slightly out to the side. Open that knee out to the side. Find the outer edge of that foot. Once again, this back hip. Lift that back thigh bone up away from the floor. And then scoop the tailbone underneath you. Soften the space between the shoulder blades. And deepen into this left hip, this front hip, that way. So you're not pressing in to the back hip at all. You're creating space for your back hip and you're moving into it by scooping the tailbone under. Take a nice deep breath in here. And as you exhale, come back onto your hands and your knees and sit back into your child's pose again. inhale back onto the hands and knees. Tuck the toes, stretch back downward facing dog. Working out the backs of those legs. And then from here with your next exhale, bring the right foot forward. And we'll go ahead and drop the back knee down. And let's twist towards the right. Take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Press the hands together. Rotate through that spine. And with your next exhale, both hands down onto the mat. Let's take that right leg. We're going to swing it all the way back up and behind you, okay? So lift the back knee up and stretch the right leg up towards the ceiling. And then we'll bring the right knee through for a pigeon. So right into pigeon, pressing down into that front shin, pulling forward through that back knee, that back leg, and then start to rise up a little bit taller. Let's interlace the hands behind the back, open up across that chest. Take one more inhale. Again, you can stay here a lot longer if you want. And let's release the hands, and you can fold forward into your pigeon on this side. Try not to sink into the hips, try to keep that lift. Soften the space between the shoulder blades. And then walk up onto the hands. Let's lean over onto the, my sister's making faces at me. Lean over onto the right hip, swing the back leg around. So let's take a full, so basically it's just kind of pretty much coming into another pigeon, because this would be called double pigeon or fire log pose or ankle to knee pose. So you're stacking. Now, if this is just like, yeah, no, that's not happening, you can stack your feet one leg, so take like your left foot and put it in front of your right foot. So you kind of have like a line of your feet, your heels, center of your body, and stack them like that. So if you prefer that, you can fold forward here. However, if you're working on your ankle to knee, bring that left ankle on top of the right knee, flex the feet, so now you also see that your left knee is on top of your right ankle, and just scoot your bum over to the right a little bit so both sit bones get down into the floor, and you can just press your fingertips into the mat, lengthen up through the spine here, and stay here, making sure those shoulders are back and down, the chest is nice and open, and you're working your pelvis level to the floor. So that's an option here. Or start to hinge forward at the hips, folding forward, keeping the spine long, the shoulders back, if that's an option. So this one is like literally, if I wasn't to do anything else after traveling, this would be the one pose that I would do. If I did nothing else, this would be the one that I would actually sit like wherever, on the floor at the hotel or wherever I got to. I'd just be like, I get down and do this pose. And that would be the most important. So all this other stuff's kind of just fun on top of it, but this is the key. This is the travel pose right here. And then before, so we can rise up here, before we start to move on and do the other side, let's take both legs out in front. And because I know some of you out there just love this pose, go ahead and reach the legs up, and let's just do a little bit of boat pose here. And then cross the legs and stretch back, downward facing dog. And we'll do all that on the other side. So with your next exhale, place your left foot to your hands, drop your back knee down, and we're gonna start with a twist. Oh, cute. I love it, Charlie. Go ahead and twist. He's got a Batman costume on now. Rotate towards the left. And then take the hands down to the mat. Let's take that left leg, bring it all the way up and back behind you. And as you exhale, let's bring the knee forward. Press that front shin down into the mat so you feel that lift, you feel the back leg coming forward. And we'll start by pressing down, lifting up through that lower belly. Interlace the hands behind the back, open up the heart. Take one more inhale here, or 4, 5, or 6 if you want, and come forward, bringing the elbows down towards the floor. And just soften that space between the shoulders, breathing here. I like how it is a bit of a natural hot class out here. I think it is about maybe 85 right now. Although in hot class there's not little lizards crawling around. So that's a bonus. Bonus on either way, I'm not sure. And then go ahead and walk back up. And we're leaning over onto the side, so leaning over onto your left, swing the right leg around, and now we're taking the mother of all travel poses, ankle to knee, stacking that right ankle on top of the left knee, sitting up nice and tall. Again, fingertips can be on the floor behind you so that you're sitting up a little taller, shoulders are drawing back and down, pelvis is tilting and leveling out with the floor. This can be your pose, or you can start to fold it forward. And even if you fold it forward, try not to round into it, right? Try to keep that chest open, but then send all your breath to the back of your body. And then start to rise back up again. Take the legs out, lift the feet up off the floor, flare the toes, open up the heart. Maybe the knees are bent this time, or maybe they're straight again. And take one more inhale, and let's cross the legs, stretch back, downward facing dog one more time. And from here, let's inhale forward into your plank, and let's exhale, lower down, maybe doing our broken down chaturanga. To find it for a moment, and then lower. And let's take the arms back behind us, lift everything up away from the floor, flaring through those toes, opening up through those arms and those shoulders, feeling that strength in the back of the body, and exhale, lower down. Now if you want to add something else here, like a bow pose or something, if that feels really good for you, you can do that. Oh, and then after you do that, you can stretch back into your child's pose again. Do a child's pose with the knees close, rounding over the legs. And then we'll start to rise up. Just sit up onto your heels. And let's go ahead and interlace the hands right behind the base of the skull. Keep the chest lifted. Take the chin in towards the chest. And then as you lift the chin, keep the hands interlaced, send those hands up towards the ceiling. And take one more inhale. And as you exhale, release the arms. You can place your hands onto your thighs, sitting up nice and tall, feeling that lift of the lower belly, and breathing here. Try to give yourself, at least maybe a minute or 2 or 3, just to sit with your breath. You don't have to necessarily squeeze in a shavasana, but just give yourselves a few moments to focus on your breath and to just step away for a moment, even from the travel, from the stuff that you're doing, from the activities that you're part of, even just step away from the family a little bit and just be with yourself, even just for a few moments. And then be sure as you come out of it, you just take a second to stretch back through the feet, release through the knees, release the ankles. Yeah, and there you go. So just a little kind of hippie flow there for you during your travels. And yeah, so I hope you guys all have some great summer activities planned. I will be back in about a week, so hopefully you guys are keeping up your practice at all the studios, and I will see you when I get back. Enjoy!